What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Easy Money Cast on the EDCAST podcast, Ep.4, with special guest, the one and only Martin JASSO, baby. Say what's up, fam.
What's up, Edgar? What's up? Hey, thanks for having me on the cast, bro.
Hey, bro, look, you asked, and I put everyone else beneath you. I was just like, you know what, Martin JASSO, I gotta prioritize this guy because you've been my dog since day one. We go back since kindergarten almost. It was fourth grade when I showed up. I don't know if you remember that.
Dude, that was a while back, but I do remember you showing up later, not early on.
Right, I was like the black lamb. I remember pulling up to school and everybody knew each other, and I was the outsider. And we've all been there a time or two. We pull up somewhere, everybody's wearing Abercrombie and Fitch, but I had K-Swiss kicks on and some South Pole, and I wasn't. I was that little black speckle on a white sheet, if you know what I'm saying. But I feel like as the years progressed, we kind of started to know each other, and middle school came up, and then we were tight, and then high school came, and then it was the takeover. I feel like that's how it worked out, man. What do you think?
I think you make a good point, but I feel like we all started like that though.
Right.
At some point.
Right.
Maybe we weren't maybe we were a little bit more advanced when you showed up, But I feel like we all started there where we're just like we're looking around and we're like, come on,
yeah. But it sucked for me because I feel like I had to start from scratch, and then get to know these guys in Lomita. I came from old Lampy Town, and did a little bit of Klein White's time, did a little bit of Hannah Springs time, and had I kept going to school there, I would have not met these badass people here. And this cool little town, honestly, I think it's a pretty badass place. It's pretty laid back. And if you're like, you know what, I want some more action, I want a little bit more diversity, then you go out and look for it and go get it. You're like, I'm tired of it. I go back home. And then it's like a state of privacy in this town. That's what I feel like. What do you think?
No, you have a point. Because, I've ventured out here and there, but ultimately, I'm always coming back here. Yeah. Like, I just like the feeling of being here. Just like with everybody, family, everything, bro.
Hometown, home cooking. You walk down the street and you see your math teacher out there, and you're like, "What's up, Vivian?" Because now we can call them by their first names. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to be calling no last name basis.
You called her by her first name even when we were in high school.
I did. I was like, Vivian. Yeah. Vivian was our math teacher, by the way. She was a badass teacher. And speaking of teachers, my guy here, Martin JASSO, is a teacher in a school in the San Antonio area, and he's teaching people in high school. I don't know what that's like, but I don't know. I mean, the generations are changing. Ever since COVID hit, the teenagers nowadays, it's like they've gone through this emotional and mental roller coaster, and now it's almost like they're back to square one. I would say back to reality or back to normality, I would say. But do you feel like you've seen a change in behavior in students pre and post COVID?
Yeah, of course. Definitely. It's like before COVID, their behavior was bad, but it's because they wanted it to be bad.
Right.
Right. It was like more of a rebellious type of bad behavior. And now it's more of like no, this is what I should be doing behavior, because they weren't used to people telling them what to do, when, and how.
Right.
It was all on their own. So no one was on top of, okay, now you're going to your next class. Okay, you're going to spend so much time on this class, then you're going to do your next. There was no structure there for them. And now when they're coming back, and you try to like apply that structure back, it's just like they don't want to take it because they're not used to it anymore.
Right.
They're used to like, okay, I'm gonna get up at 8:30. You know,
Yeah,
let me check in.
The screen time.
Exactly. Let me check in.
They probably had like a poster cut out board of themselves, sitting there in class,
But like they got used to all of that, and who wouldn't,
Right.
Who wouldn't? They would get up 8:39. They just check in and they do their work late at night. Like just about 90% of them did that. I promise you. So like when they came back last year, more than this year. This year it's not so bad, but last year they let them come back. Like if they wanted to be in person, they could be in person, but if they could choose the online option. That's when you saw it worse, because some of those kids did not have any structure whatsoever. Like you can tell.
Right.
There's no way they're managing themselves in any way, shape, or form and good at all, because they just didn't do anything.
Right. I'm going to get this mic a little closer to you to catch these waves. I hear what you're saying, baby. So it's been a little hectic, you could say, trying to get these kids back into their regular routine.
Exactly.
And for someone as young as you, like, do these kids like feel like, he's a chump, or do you set the tone down pretty quick, let them know that you're not a force to reckon with?
I kind of set the tone. I really do. Yeah. You have to. Whether you're lenient or not, at some point you have to set the tone.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't, then it's not going to work out.
Yeah, agreed. Like, it feels strange for me to set the tone, or I feel like sometimes you have to set the tone at work. You have to set the tone. For those that know me, know that I'm a freaking clown 24/7. Like I'm a jokester.
But that is you. That's
straight up.
That's you setting your tone, though.
That's my personality. But then there's time. They call me sometimes. They'll call me at work the boy that cried wolf, because I'll say this and this and this, but it's all a joke. And then when we have some kind of issue or something that's high level issue, or something that'll cause a big problem, I'll be like, we have this issue. I'll present an issue, and they'll be like, dude, you're playing games. I'll be like, and I feel like in those moments I'm able to, I have like this voice that just like, or this, I don't even know if it's a facial deal, but like I have this like, my presence is like, dude, this ain't no joke. And then they hear it, they hear something, and they're like, all right, this kid ain't playing. This is for real. And
so you can hit that switch, is what you're saying.
I can.
You can hit the switch.
I can hit the switch. There's times that I'll go in there and I'm serious, because I don't feel like playing games when I'm trying to get things done. I'm straightforward, intuitive. But when I'm caught up, that's when gang, what's up, man? What you working on?
I think I'm the same way. The same way. I am exactly the same way, because I feel like my kid can tell, like, okay, he wants to hurry up today. Like, let's go, because this guy is just trying to go. He's trying to get stuff going. I mean, like, I'm just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But then when we're good, I'm just like, all right, y'all. I mean, y'all can relax. We're caught up.
I feel like the transition between a teenager and an adult, I wouldn't know when that is exactly. Like, I know, 18.
Well, honestly, it depends on each person.
Yeah, I agree.
It really does.
Because people vary. They're not, everyone's not on the same page. Everyone is not in the same stage in life. There's people that go to college for, 10 years or 5-10 years after high school, and they're still not in that work environment. Like in a full career.
Right.
But I feel like I've always wondered to myself, like, at 23, 24, I'm like, am I supposed to be serious right now? Am I supposed to take things to heart, I guess? Not in a bad way, but like in a work-related way. Like, I don't know.
I know what you're saying.
I feel like
you're wondering if you should put more focus into what you should be doing, like
that
job-wise, career-wise, or if you shouldn't. And you should balance that out.
That too, and like how much can I get away with joking? Like, like that's the other thing. It's like, okay, I'm 24. Is it still valid to make a joke at work? Is it valid to call the general manager and tell him that someone was stealing his catalytic converter and then have them run out there and spray them with some water guns or something like that. You know, it's like, is it okay to do that? I don't know. But now that I'm almost 30, I'm like, okay, I see a lot of people older than me, and they goof around a lot. So I'm like,
You're just
dang,
like, nah,
this is just like,
don't stop.
I feel like I'm in a good spot, because it's like, take care of business, joke around. Take care of business, punishment, reward. You know the line.
But that should be your motto, though. 'Cause what you're saying is like, if you can find someone that's older than you and still doing it, then that means you can still do it.
And there's people that I look up to. There's people that you know, you always have someone you look up to at work. There's always people that I know goof around, but deep down they're business people. They take care of their own business. Some of them have their own businesses outside of work, and then you just kind of learn things from them and how they carry themselves, and it feels like they don't take things as serious. It's like, okay, it's okay for me to,
right? Like,
I can get away with it.
Like, you catch the vibe too.
Yeah,
and you catch what they're putting out. I know what you're saying, because you're just like, okay, like if they can look like they're relaxed, but they can also get stuff done behind the scenes, then you know I can do that too. And that's the kind of image that you're trying to portray. Exactly.
I mean, I'm pretty laid back, and I don't want to be someone who's just so uptight, and you know, at the end of the day, I feel like it's all about relationships and having fun, because that's, to me, that I don't care what I'm doing. I want to have fun. It don't matter if I'm digging a hole here at home or at work, doing whatever. Like, I'm just trying to have a good time, and to me, that's what it's about. Like, if I ain't having a good time, then I ain't living right. That's just how I feel.
That, or you're kind of asking yourself, like, why am I in this situation? Then, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, or if you're in it, you like might as well have fun, you know?
You might as well. Look, I was like, damn, I guess it's time to get fired. I may get fired. I mean, I was an hour and a half late to work the other day, and I'm like, I was like, hey, who cares, dude? I pulled up to work, and I text my boss, because my boss doesn't work on Saturdays. I was like, yo, I was an hour late, and she said, all good. And I was like, okay, cool. I was like, don't fire me, because, you know, I kind of like you guys. She's, she's cool. She knows that I get in there and take care of business, and most importantly, I feel like I have a really good relationship with everyone I work with, and it's a lot of fun to me. You're sipping coffee, making a couple of jokes, and then taking care of business. And hell yeah, man, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for me, but you know, is that how's it working out for you in what you're doing right now?
I mean, no, you have a point. Like, getting stuff done is ultimately what it's about.
Right.
Whether you do that, like you're saying, like, let me get it done, then let me relax. I mean, ultimately, as long as you can get that done, then yeah, you're good. But, bro, like, this past, like, because of those vacations that we got, it set me back, honestly. But that first week that I went back to work, it was rough.
Damn,
it was rough. Yeah.
It's a lot of adjusting when you come back. Yeah. For me, it's weird, because it's like I'll take time off, like towards the end of the year. I'll store up a couple hours. I'm talking about like a week plus, and I'll take them. But when I come back, it's almost like depression strikes when I'm headed to work. Or it's weird. It's like I get depressed.
No, I know what you're saying.
I don't know if this is even normal.
It's not depression. It's just like, you know, all this stuff you're going to have to catch up on already. And then all the stuff you're going to have to get ready for. And then all this stuff that you're still going to have to do while you're doing everything else.
No, well, I feel like a sense of depression. I feel like, I have to be a grown up again. And now I have to wait, you know, however many days, 365 days to get back to this Christmas break, or, you know, because those are the holidays that one would normally take off more than a couple of days. But I'll come back and I'm like, dang, this sucks. It's not even my job that sucks. It's the routine of having to wake up early and be responsible. But
it's a, like, for me, it was all of the days that I got off. I got 3 weeks off, so I got used to it. Like, that's the worst, because when the more days you have off, the longer that you have off, it's Going back makes it worse because
Oh man.
you're just used to it at that point. You're used to
Right.
not doing anything.
Sometimes
And your routine's completely different. And then you go back to work and you're just like, man, what's going on?
I don't have this freedom.
Like you said, that
know.
depression feeling.
This is the American. This ain't the American dream. The American dream was being off and getting paid for it. But I feel like when I'm at work and I'm back into swing of things, I feel like I would prefer to not take a vacation because it's easier for me to stay on, on my routine, going to work and everything that revolves around.
Because ultimately, whether what you're doing is fun or not, you're gonna have to come back and jump back in that routine, and that's the hard part.
Right, but I mean, it's easy for me. Like the weekend goes by, come back Monday, bam, let's get it done. But when you're, taking more than a couple of days off, it's like, dang, I would prefer to stay at work and not get away from that routine because it's easier for me to stay on the routine than get off of it and jump back. It's almost like, you run, you run a lot and you miss, 2-3 days and you come back to run, you feel like, dang, what the hell happened? 10 years go by and that's how it is for me at least.
No,
I feel like,
right. Well, actually, I mean, sometimes I end up running better.
You think so?
But I feel like it's because some days, like back when I was running a lot, I'm not running that much anymore, but I would run every single day. And if I took 2 or 3 days off, that when I would run again, it felt pretty good because my legs weren't like, like all, tired. Not tired, but like they're like going through the motion almost after every day. And I was just like, dang. So like when I took 2 or 3 days off and I ran, it almost felt better for me.
I guess that makes sense.
But now I run here and there every once in a while. Now I'm not trying to.
I feel like today I broke my time because I didn't run the past 2 days. So I guess in a way, yeah, I agree.
Like your legs were rested.
Yeah, and I feel like there was less pain while you were running. It's definitely at that mile mark that you're like. I feel like walking, but
I like those. I like those runs where you're running and you're like, dang, I feel, like I don't feel that tired, and I already went through like my checkpoint like half a mile.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Usually I'm this tired already, but like today I'm still going.
And that's what I thought at lap 2. At my second lap, I was like, I'm normally like wheezing at lap 2, even though you can run 4 or 5 more laps. But at lap 2 or 3, I'm wheezing. I was like, you know what? I'm not too bad. I can definitely not walk. So that's what I did, and I broke my time by like a minute. And I thought, you know what? It's funny because every time, like I'm at, normally I work before I run after work, and then I talk all this mess. I'm like, dude, it's nothing. And you get out there, you're like,
you're dying.
You're like, dude, this I want to walk.
You're like thinking, like, what was I saying earlier? This ain't nothing.
No, I always think, I was like, dude, I talked all this trash, and I was going to, power through and this and that. And then I'm out here crying, like mentally. I'm like, I think I can walk. I should walk. And today, luckily, it didn't.
And that's the bad thing, though. It's just a mental thing. Like, if
yeah.
we could get out of our own head, imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's mental all across the board, I feel like. I don't know. Like, I mean, in part, I read this study one time that people who practice a certain, you could say a sport, I don't know where I read this. It must have been somewhere some article there at the dentist. That was some magazine. And I opened it up, and it said that they did a study where athletes, they had 50% of the athletes physically practice a sport, and then the other 50% of athletes would practice it mentally. And their studies show that the people who practice it mentally had more of an advantage. They were able to like up their game more. And I was like, dude, this is freaking insane. And in part, I agree. Because when it comes to the drum kit, I don't practice as much as I should on the drum pad or the drum kit. Mm-hmm. But when I'm hearing music, I'm thinking things. I'm thinking sounds. I'm thinking fills. And, I won't touch that thing for maybe, days, weeks sometimes. And then I'll come back, and it's almost like I have more ideas now than I did, when the last time I drummed or whatever. But that's pretty cool.
It's because I feel like it's because you're like not really, but you're like researching your own work almost. Like you're like you're tampering with your own ideas. Like, what would this sound like? What would this sound like? You know, like you're going through the motions in your mind, and then once you actually get there, you're just like, okay, in my mind, this didn't really work. I'm not gonna try that, but because I didn't try that, let me try this. You know what I mean? Or let me switch it up a little bit and maybe let me fix it a little bit. Then it's good after that. You know what I mean?
That's funny because I do the same thing at soccer, and I ask the guys that I play with. I'm like, do you guys ever think about soccer while you're at work? And everyone said no. Everyone said no. I'm like, dude, are you guys serious? Am I the only loser? I literally sit at work and I'll ask myself, how did this chump get past me, or how did I not get past him? And then I'll go back to my footwork. What did I do? Did I do a slingshot or and I'll go through these motions in my head. And when I come back, I'll try to apply something new, something I thought of. And I promise you, like, at least half a percent of the time they work. It's strange. It's like, I drew that up like 3 days ago in my head. I was gonna do that move on you. I was gonna meg you
exactly
this way.
But you thought about it, like you gave it some thought. Like you're just like, okay, let me run this through my mind to see maybe if it could work or it couldn't work. But you gave yourself that idea and you ran it through your mind. So now you're just like, no, I gotta try it now. And you probably even practiced it before you even asked. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest, I don't. But I feel like I think in sports, a low percentage of it is skill. But I think a lot of it in soccer is like mental manipulation, because it's you trying to. For me, it's always me trying to get you to believe that I'm gonna do something, and then switch it up last second, and then bam, I'm past you. It's game over. And it's crazy because, I feel like a lot of the times it works unless you're someone that studied, my
like if someone's used to just going up against you so much, they got your tendencies down and everything like that.
Exactly. But then it's like, all right, it's a mind game. Now this guy thinks I'm gonna do this, and he thinks I'm gonna do that if I don't do that. So I'm gonna have to change it up and just shoot from where I'm at. He ain't gonna see this one coming. And that's what I do. It's fun.
That's a real offensive mentality, though.
Yeah,
for sure. Because what I'm thinking, like the majority of the time that when I go play soccer, but I feel like it's just because I'm not that good,
Right.
Like I'm just thinking like defensive. So just like I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna let this dude think he can have this, but when he goes for it, I'm just gonna take it. I'm baiting it. So that's more of a defensive strategy.
It's
but that's like the main thing that I can think of when I'm playing soccer. So like I feel like I just have a defensive mentality maybe.
I feel like that's something I took from basketball. It was playing taker, stealer, reader. I don't know. They had all these things that we worked on when we were running a press. And I feel like those are the same things. Same strategies I apply when I'm playing kickball out in the fields. It served me well, but there's something you could always apply everywhere, and I think that's pretty cool, man.
Most definitely, dude.
Hell yeah. So what you been up to today, man? How's your weekend going?
My weekend was pretty good. Went to a wedding and just got back from a wedding. A friend of ours, Charlie's.
Hey, shout out
Charlie
to
Wagner's wedding.
I don't know if Charlie ever see this, but big shout out to you, to your wedding, to your new wife, and
congrats, bro.
Congrats and blessings if
beautiful
you ever
wedding.
see this.
He had a beautiful ceremony. Everything was pretty good.
And that's the best right there. Also, I know that you're a new uncle. So what is that like, man? I for a second I forgot you already had, you were already an uncle. And then I talked to your brother Yvonne. I was like, yo, what does it feel like to be a new uncle? Because I'm like, in my mind, I was like, this is your first nephew. Right. You're like, hey, this is my second. My brother Jose. I was like, oh, dang, I don't keep up with everybody, but how's that?
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just, it was just, at the beginning, it was just that. I didn't take it in as much more than just that,
Right. But it doesn't feel like,
But it never felt that different. And I think it's just because it was new.
Right.
But like I feel like as it's going now it's starting to feel more and more like a bigger impact. I'm not gonna lie to you, it still doesn't feel that big.
Right.
But I feel like with time, I think that's gonna grow.
With time, it's like you realize the gravity of the situation. And, being an uncle, I think that's something pretty cool because
No, it is cool.
It's
I'm not trying to downplay. I'm just saying,
right.
I'm not gonna try to hype it up, and I'm not gonna feel like that. I'm not gonna try to lie how I feel. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it didn't really feel much different, but like now that time is going, for sure that impact is growing.
I feel like being an uncle to a kiddo is pretty cool because you get like so many perks minus the stress behind parenting. Because you let the parent do the hard work. And I'm the sidekick. I'm gonna tell you, punch that dude in the face if he gives you a hard time, and you kind of like a mental coach, or you coach him up in whatever it is that that they're involved in, and I think that's pretty neat. Teaching kids, things that you wouldn't probably teach your own kid. I don't want to teach my kid that or whatever. Like, don't be teaching my kid that.
And I guess you talk from experience.
Yeah. I be teaching my nephew some things. I think one time my sister was like, she told me that my niece gotten into some trouble at school, and she said someone pushed her. I was like, oh, is that so? So next time you make sure you take a right hook and my sister and my mom looked at me. They were just like, dude, don't. I'm like, nah, you don't listen to your mom. That's what I told her. And I was like, nah. It's like, if she gets you in trouble, come talk to me. I'll put her in her place. But no, it's all fun and games. It's pretty cool, and they grow up quick. So enjoy it, man. Enjoy it now, because next thing you know, they're gonna be in high school. And you'll be like, God dang, I'm old.
Damn, don't say that. Damn.
I mean, I don't feel old. I don't know about you, man.
Nah,
but
dude. Some days I do. Some days
he was like, I feel it in my knees sometimes.
More like my back, but
yeah, I do too, dude. I think it's just the work. I tell people at work that we need to have a personal, like a full-time masseuse or a chiropractor
at every job.
Yeah, I mean, that should be a OSHA requirement, I think. I mean, a lot of people suffer from low or upper back problems at such a young age that I feel like it's essential to have somebody doing a little pop it, lock and drop in on that back full time. I mean, that would be the dream job right there. One of the big perks.
And open up more jobs too.
And that would open up more opportunity for people. I mean, you imagine people working at McDonald's and be like, oh, sorry, sir, I was getting my back popped.
We're back in the break room.
What can I get for you? Yeah, that would be badass. To be honest with you, I'd get a job at McDonald's for sure.
Yeah, people probably be less stressed, man.
Yeah,
the work environment be less stressful.
I feel like nowadays the work environment is so crazy because, like, I hear, you hear at work, oh, we're running behind here because shipments are in California on a boat, or we're not getting product because. Whatever, and we're like, okay, well then, what's the slowdown over there?
All the effects of COVID is what really happened,
and they're like, well, we don't have no workers, and I think part of that is people living off the government. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know but I do know that some people that used to work where I do, they stopped working because they started picking up checks from the government, and I'm like, yo, if so many people can get away with this, what kind of effect is it going to have on the future? And if parents do this, what are you teaching, like the younger generation? To me, that's crazy. And I feel like nowadays, I feel like younger people feel entitled to higher paying jobs minus the work ethic that is required to take on those jobs. And I don't know, man. What do you see the America looking like in 10 years? Maybe 10 years from now, we could look at this video and be like, dude, Martin was freaking right.
No, or I was completely wrong.
Or he was wrong. What do you think? Talk to me about that.
I think we're at a point where we can either go really good or we could go really bad. I really do think, like, I'm being completely honest with you. I think we're at that point, or that point was last year.
Right.
But I think it's either gonna get better, like really good, or it's gonna get worse.
Right.
Then that's the scary part. But I don't know. As far as like generation goes, it's just it's like how would I say this? It's like a trend.
Right.
Almost. They're just different trends. It's not like they're different because you see the trend in other generations. So
Right.
the new trend, like you're saying, they feel entitled. Yeah, I feel like we're in that entitled trend now. And you're saying 10 years from now, I don't think we'd be in that same
It's possible.
trend. I think it'd be a different trend. I don't know what trend it would be, but I think you're right, though. I think right now, a lot of these kids feel entitled to this and that. But I think COVID, after all of this, it's going to be different. Because they won't feel, I don't think they'll feel so entitled.
Right.
But who knows? Like I said, it's just like a point where it's just like it could either go really good or it could either go really bad.
Right.
And I mean, the other day even I was trying to think, like us as a society, we progress, or I feel like we've been progressing, right?
I feel so.
Right. So then when do we stop? When does it start going downhill?
That's a point that, I guess I really never thought of, but you're right. I mean,
and when we notice, because to me, like now, almost feels like society's going down.
I feel like I could be wrong, but I mean, what's your take on this? But I feel like we're America, and obviously everything we're trying to do is improve everything. And whether it be phones, housing,
which is part of America's
car manufacturing,
but it's that's part of their downfall,
right?
At the same time,
repairing the financial economy. I feel like you're always trying to fix something, and at times you're trying to fix something that could maybe not be broken. I could be wrong. I can't see everything from a wider perspective, but I feel like. The generation that's coming up, I don't watch the news much, but I do watch Snapchat news, and one of the news was it was a study on people that are trying to jump back into their normal routines post COVID, and now they're having anxiety or issues communicating with people because they're not used to it. And then you had this wave of people or kids that didn't go to school. And it may have been a year, I don't even remember, but they lose all that connection to people. And it's almost like it affects your interactions with other people when you jump back, because now you're like, I don't know if you would say shy or anxious or scared. And you don't know how to take it. You don't know what to do with it. And you just kind of keep to yourself. And then now you have like a vast majority of kids or teenagers doing the same thing. And like magnets, you should come together or repel each other. And I feel like sometimes it's more repelling. It's like we don't want to compromise with one another. We want to have my way, they want to have their way, and it's just chaotic. It may have improved from that time, I'm talking about a year ago, but I feel like that right there is where we could either go left or right. Right now, I don't know exactly where it's going because, like I said, I don't watch the news. But you that work, you work with students all the time. What do you think that's looking like right now?
Like their anxiety and stuff like that?
Right.
Nah, that was not this year. That was last year. Well, it
so
just
we're
depends.
Past this point.
Yeah, it just depends on the situation that you're in, honestly, because some schools have been more on and off.
Right.
But then again, our school really just went straight back into online only.
But then again, I feel like, bigger schools, people are more mentally progressed in high school. But I'm wondering how that has affected, children or stuff like that. At this point, I wouldn't know, but I would hope
Like
for the best.
the smaller kids, you're right. That has a different effect on them. But because I have seniors, it's just they're almost adults already. So like, I don't really see that change. I don't really see that
setback.
That setback either. I mean, it's just at that point, 17, 18-year-old. I know COVID was a lot, but they've been through a lot already. It's not like I would think like middle school below. That would have been bad.
That's where the effect is taking place.
And then I haven't seen any of those that have come up to where they were in middle school when it happened either.
Right.
So, I mean, it's too early for that. But the ones that I have now, they're not. No. If anything, you can tell. They just kind of take advantage of the situation when they can. And they can't. It's just, they're kids. They're just, half the time they say that they have this or they have that. And it's just them taking advantage of a situation that they can take advantage of.
It could be the same with adults now, you know. I don't know. I mean, like,
you're
I
right.
feel like now as an adult, you can't say, you know, we had an issue or we're constantly having issues. But at work, your work environment, we had someone, they were doing something and their manager told them to do something else. And they were like, you know what, I'm going to pull out the racial card on you. And now you're like, oh, the manager will say, I can't say anything because they'll raise that racial flag on me, and now I could lose my job, and then it goes uphill. It's like people just, like I said, feel entitled, and it feels like anything you say to someone you got an employee, and you can't say anything, whether it be, take care of business. I don't know. But you know how it is now. Many people take offense, and some people, they're not about the task at hand. They're about just collecting a paycheck. That's crazy, man. It's cray, dude.
That's a bad world to live in. No.
It's tough, man. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, but if it's just not fun to be around those type of people who are just doing it for money.
Definitely.
Like, you can tell. It's just not it's not a good vibe.
And now, cancel culture, that's a thing now. It's like, if you don't comply with this and that, we're gonna make sure we take you off this email chain. We're gonna take you off payroll potentially. We're going to take you off the Boy Scouts team or whatever goes on nowadays. I don't even know, but it's a real deal, cancel culture. I haven't personally experienced that, but I know people that have, and I'm like, damn, that's crazy. You say one thing or you do one thing or you stand up for something you believe in. For me, it's easy. Like, if I like someone or look up to someone, I won't necessarily cancel them because there was something there's something, me and you don't agree on everything, right. But we have so much common ground. I feel like maybe people at work or whatever, we don't agree, we don't dress alike, we don't shop, or we don't do the same things outside of work, but we all have a common goal at work. And I feel like in friendships, we all have a common goal. I mean, work it out and, hash it out and have fun. Just have a good time. But I feel like nowadays, some people, I don't have to deal with this. That you said something that offended me, and it really wasn't offensive, but I'm going to go ahead and cancel you because that's just how I work. Have you seen any of that or what? Even on the social realms? You're like, I don't know. If I say something, like, I might get canceled.
I mean, exactly.
It's a little scary walk there, man. So,
I feel like that's just everywhere. I think that's just all the time, bro. Like, there's gonna be people like that everywhere and any time. It doesn't matter. But I mean, I've experienced that. Obviously, everybody has,
right?
Or people are just like it's like you got to vibe with somebody, but it's not up to you. It's up to them, Right. Like, that's what you're saying, I feel like.
Yeah. In part, that is what I'm saying, actually. Totally. I don't know. It's really easy for me because I don't know. I've been like, I don't know if you want to say trained or raised, but it's like, dude, don't fall for the petty stuff. You know, everyone's going through something. You don't know what people are going through. You only know what you're going through. But I try to never let that affect, you know, my relationship with people or work or whatever, dude. I'm like, you know what? Get out of here, dude. I'm trying to go play some soccer, dude.
Yeah.
But that's crazy, bro. And now we're here. We're doing a podcast about it. We're telling you that, or our listeners, I may have 5, 10, 15 listeners. I don't know. But
15,000 listeners.
Well,
that's what it's going to be.
Look, I'm just trying to be on Spotify, which I probably can be now. But I'm excited about the podcast. I don't even know. I could, like I said, I don't. I think one time I posted like a drum video, and it got like 35 views, and I was like, "Whoa, that's crazy!" Crazy. So then when I did this one, I was like, I should get like 10, 15. You know, I got to catch up on this wave of YouTube and stuff like that, and then next thing you know, I
can watch it 10, 15 times. Dude,
I was I watched my video. Like I uploaded it, I played it once, and then I played it again because once I was just listening to it, and then the second time I just reviewed that the edits came out the way I put them together. But so 3 views off the bat are mine, straight up. I won't lie about that. But you know, I feel like I hit 50 views. I was like, damn, son. I was like, the population in this town's like 60. So
you're getting played.
Yeah, we're getting somewhere. I don't know. Appreciate the support. I've actually had people reach out, and I won't say how many, but I'm like, dude,
tens of thousands.
Like,
you can tell us it's like tens of thousands of people.
No, but it was just funny because I guess it was the people I least expected to say something. It was someone I didn't expect to even tune in, and they're like, "Yo, heard you had a podcast." I'm like, "What? Who are you, dog?" I'm like, "Yeah, you're reaching out like that, like some kind of creep of nature, you know." And I was like, "Damn, you know what? That's actually pretty cool that you reached out." Or I didn't think you were tuned in. You got people in the GA fam. You know, I got a lot of people that I like, and I think like me back. So
they like to tune in. That's
so
what you're
they're
saying.
Like, you know, I don't know what's going on in Texas, but we're relying on easy money cash. Well, dude, all right, YouTube's got to get this right. It's easy money cash. I think the subtitles were wrong, but I go by EDCAST. So that's the podcast right there, and my boys call me Easy Money Cast.
I just feel like it makes sense just to call it the cast, but you know.
Cast, bro. I don't know, dude. I could go back and edit these videos and change
and it even goes with the last name too. I'm just saying.
Damn,
bro, like
son, that's a freaking genius idea, bro. And you know what? I had a genius idea because that cam, it was gonna be initially 2 cams. It's gonna be one facing this, one facing me, and I was like, I can edit it, but I'm like, that's gonna take. It's a lot of back and forth, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to invest all that time. I mean, I'm not really getting paid much yet, or at all.
I was about to say, damn, who's paying you,
YouTube.
So you got some sponsors up in here?
It'd be nice if you want to sponsor this podcast. Well,
I thought you were sponsored by Cayman Jack or something.
Dude, I should be. Cayman Jack, if you ever see this podcast, just know that the Cayman Jack is something that I'm going to have pretty much every podcast. I enjoy this beverage. I enjoy cocktails, and thanks, Martin, for showing me this special drink that's won a special place in my heart, I think.
Hell yeah.
We're excited about this.
I mean, just any of those viewers listening, if y'all come by, just bring your boy. Hey, you just got to bring your boy Cayman Jack, and you get real comfortable.
Hey, y'all know where I live. Y'all send some Caymans, and if you don't want to send Cayman, you can send some Fantas because that'll do the trick, and some hot Cheetos because, Lord knows I like to get my fingers dirty on them red flames, if you know what I'm saying, baby. But I don't know how much time has passed by. I'm excited to have my boy Martin over. We're probably going to go hit up... where are we going after this?
Nah, we ain't got to know where we're going. No one's got to know.
I try to... It's funny because I have people on on Instagram, and then I have people on Snapchat, and I'll always try to do that whole element of surprise where I tell you one thing on Snapchat, but I'll never tell you anything on Instagram. What? Surprise, dog. But I think sometimes like people know you're going somewhere, and they expect you to show. The whole Instagram model is just a bit strange, but I try to. It's weird for me because I try to post less, but at the same time, I like it when people post more, because I like to keep up with people. And if you want to, give me a little bit of behind the scenes of your personal life or whatever you got going on, then I'm all for it. Like, whoa, what's going on in Colt's life? What's going on in Dalton's life? What's going on in James's life or whatever? I'm like, yo, I'm tuned in. But at the same time, I'm like, oh, I'm not going to post anything. Right. Is that right? How do you feel about that, dude?
It's kind of contradicting, though, because you're just like, you enjoy those, like, behind the scenes that everyone's doing on their own, But at the same time, it's their own decision, like your decision to not do it. So, like, they can't be mad at you and you can't beat yourself up for it because it's their decision to put that out there.
Right.
And it's your decision to put what you want out there. So like,
but I also kind of dislike when like, let's say this, my cousins do this a lot. They'll post something on IG and
he's calling them out.
I'll call you out right now. If you see this and you know what I'm talking about, then you know who you are. It's like you see the story on IG and then you see it on Snapchat or vice versa. And then you open up one application like, dude, I just saw this story. I just saw this picture. I just saw this video. Like, damn, these dudes got them all connected. And it's like, damn.
I know what you're saying. Because like, I feel like I've done that before where I've done it on the same one like that too. But if I catch myself doing it, I'll be like, no, I don't know about that. I'm not trying to do it on both of them.
Yeah.
That looks weird.
Well, I mean, it just feels weird because it's like, I don't know. I feel like I mean, if you do it once, 3 times, 4 times, whatever, but if you do it every post throughout the year and you see double posts.
But like, here's the thing, like, where do you have the most followers? On what platform? And just put it on the one. You know what I mean?
It's strange because
they're just going to overlap everywhere.
I feel like for IG, I have a lot of my community and my friends, my family.
Well, I mean, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're saying, yeah.
And then for like Snapchat, I have like a smaller group of people. I have like, I guess people that I let a lot more people, like I let Snapchat tune in on a lot more things that I wouldn't let. Yeah.
Because it's more closer, inner circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But at the same time, I'll keep IG updated on certain things. And it's like, I want to be, I enjoy being a spectator, but at the same time, it's like,
so maybe, sorry to interrupt you, but maybe someone's IG is your Snapchat.
It's possible.
You know what I'm saying?
It's possible. It's highly likely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, that's why you know what I mean? Like they're more comfortable posting all of that on their IG because that's their Snapchat.
Right. Agreed.
But I mean, everyone has their own thoughts.
And I look up to people that post so little. It's strange. It's like, when someone posts so little, I think it's cool because it's like, it's strange. It's like, I don't know why they don't post. I don't know if they post because, this is dumb, or they could either not post because I want to just live in this moment, which I enjoy doing that. I like to live in the moment, but at the same time, I like capturing moments. Like, you know this damn well. I got a lot of moments on my phone on Snapchat that, 90% of the videos that I have won't be released on Snapchat. And maybe if I feel hyped up or whatever, like a year later, I'll post them like, a year ago, but I never released them originally. It's strange.
You be doing that all the time. Cause I'm just like, dang, what is that you're doing now? And then I'm just like, I just read to the top left corner. It says 2 years ago. I'm like, this dude.
Gotcha. It's funny. Yeah, I do that. I hold on to a memory and then I release it like a year later or a month later. But sometimes when I'm in that moment, I don't feel like posting because you're potentially losing an opportunity of a moment or capturing something. But I also
by wanting to rush it.
Right.
I know what you're
It's
saying.
like keep it, and then later I go through them. I was like, that was crazy. That was fun. That
So
whatever.
like you're like letting it marinate a little bit.
Yeah.
Then you let it out. I see what you're doing.
I don't
there.
know. I feel like a lot of the videos that I've had is because I recorded and then, dude, this video was cool. Like the video, I think I sent you a video the other day. We were somewhere on West 6 or something like that. I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but I was going through them. I might have sent them to Yvonne. I was like, bro, who's mom? Nah. But it's wild, man. It's really cool. And I try to, I don't know if people like keeping up my stuff, but there is a few people like you should use your platforms more often. I'm like, I do, but I forget that I only use one or the other. And then I'm gonna try to post more. I said this in the beginning, I'm gonna do a questionnaire and you guys get to ask a couple questions. I don't care what they're about, who they're from, and if they're questions, we're gonna answer them. If they're topics or suggestions, I'm open for suggestions. So if you got a suggestion to make the podcast cooler, shoot that message at me. I don't care where you're on the food chain because I don't pay attention to that. I care about ideas. So this was an idea, and look, we're here. Martin Hasso's here. He got that cue sitting outside. We having a good time, and that cue was an idea at some point. And bam, how's that baby treating you?
I mean, I didn't like the process that I took to get it. I didn't want to go through that.
And we won't. I won't release any of that info here because that's personal. But
I wanted something different but at the same time, like I wanted to keep it, sporty a little bit. So I was looking into the Q50s and I test drove that 3.7 because they have the 3.7 model and then they'll have a 3.0 the twin turbo.
Yes, sir.
But that 3.7, I'm not gonna lie. It just keeps it steady power. It's not, you know what I mean? Like once from the very start, it keeps it steady. And the twin turbo, it takes it like a half a second to kick, but once that thing kicks in.
So you drove the twin turbo?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, both of them. I drove both. I tested both of them, but I ended up getting a twin turbo, the 3.0.
Damn.
But
boy.
I love that thing.
These cars
smooth
are fascinating, and I know a little bit about Infinities. They're pretty fun. I'll tell you that much.
Cause you got your what you sitting out there, that G37.
Those cars are something I don't know, something I admire. I admire cars a lot, and the effort that was put into them. At least the model I have, the model you have, is pretty sick as well. And I don't know what the future holds for old Cruise, but hopefully something pretty badass is what I'm thinking. But I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the cold weather because now it's not going to be... I don't know how it is in GA. I know that my brother sent me a video, which my brother is here right now. And he's all like, put me on the podcast. But I was like, bro, it's because last night what did we do last night? Oh, yeah. I got home and I crashed because I had to go to work. And so I was like,
this morning is when you went in an hour late or what?
Yeah. So I was like, dude, we'll do it some other time. And now that dude's, out and about, catching up with old friends. And I was like, all right, we'll do it some other time. But either way, we'll catch up. He sent me a video from Georgia. It was snowing over there like a couple of days ago. And he was supposed to go to work, and he's like, I'm not going anymore because there's snow. I was like, well, you've been to my grandma's neighborhood. I took you one time. You see that it's either uphill, downhill, and the parking spots for every house on that neighborhood, they're like, on a slant.
Yeah.
That's a bit sketchy. I'm like, I wouldn't want to be driving anywhere there.
You're absolutely right.
And especially if you have a car that you like or enjoy. But here it'll be fresh, it'll be fun, and it'll probably be sunny, I'm hoping. And I want to wrap up this episode by telling you guys to make sure you hit that like button. If you got any ideas, like I said, shoot them at me. You got suggestions, shoot them at me. My boy Martin Hasso, I'm going to leave his username IG on the description or on the video itself. So if you want to keep up with him, and if you got some kind of mathematical magician question, ask your boy Martin. He knows. I mean, this guy's mind works like a damn robot, but highly more advanced, because robots are only, they're not even.
They got limits. They got
limits. We'll put it that. See, you came up with words. See, I couldn't even come up with words. This guy's a genius. But stay tuned. Hope you like this video, and shout out to Cayman Jack. Stay blessed. Stay safe. And keep doing what you do. I don't know what you're doing. And if you're slacking, pick yourself up. Get your ass back in the game and play it at a high volume. Play it at a high... what would you say? High. Put a word in my mouth.
I mean, that's what I like to do. It's either you go 0 or 100.
Real quick.
Exactly.
Drake said it best. So we're going to leave it at that. Stay tuned. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and I'm going to try to drop this video as soon as, oh my God, it's 12:30. That is time to eat Cheetos. That's hot Cheeto time. It ain't bedtime. It's time to, turn up a little bit with some hot Cheetos. And stay tuned, gang. We out here. Gang, baby.
Yes, sir.
It's a wrap. Damn, this mic is still rolling, bruh.
Bro.
This mic is still rolling. You got any last words?
I mean, keep it clean out there.
Keep it clean.
Keep it clean. Nah,
hey, keep Texas safe. Keep Texas clean out there. Look, if you're one of those people that are out littering, well, then I want to tell you that you need to be locked up like Akon. But if you're anything like me, keep the streets clean, gang. So do that and take care of yourself. Take care of your mom. Say hi to your neighbor. Email a friend. Tell them that you miss them, even though you don't. But do that, and let's help one another out. All right. Stay tuned. Easy Money Cast is out. Gang, fam.